Okay, this is the video review of the PETZL NAO Plus. This is the latest one. This one has 750 lumens max, and it is the replacement for the NAO, I call it the NAO 2, which had 575 lumens. So I'm going to go over the light, the battery capabilities and all of that, and hopefully give you an idea whether or not this is the right light for you, because it might not be. Let's start with the price. The price is $185. That probably seems like a lot to you. It sure did to me, over a year ago when I first started looking at headlamps. I thought that's outrageous for a light. But the LED technology that they have today is really nice. Super bright, puts old flashlights, the old tungsten flashlights, to shame. On the left side we have a diffuser. On the right side we have a spot beam. On the top we have a sensor that senses light coming back in, and that's for the reactive lighting technology, which adjusts the beam strength to save battery. And that's a mode that you can use it in. You need not use it in that mode all the time, but it's good to save battery, and it also offers some other benefits. So the unit itself, it has a lock. If you twist it backwards, it has a lock there, and hard to get out of that. You gotta crank it tight, and then you'll get into the regular mode. So when you get into the area where you can use it, it's just a twist like this and a let go. It's a spring. So you twist and let go, twist and let go. That'll get you to the two modes. And then you have a long twist, and then a long twist. Those will get you in and out of the reactive lighting technology mode, toggling back and forth with the standard lighting technology, just like a manual mode, right? So this headlamp has two beams that are blended, so it really gives a nice quality of light because it's not too harsh. The center beam is not, a tight dot like this, like a spotlight, and then the flood is not like too light. The combination of these two makes it really beautiful, really nice. It's perfect for me for looking I look in the forest for snakes, mostly lizards and all of that, all kind of wildlife. So the quality of beam, the shape of the beam, the whiteness of the light, everything is perfect with this one for me. And I used the previous iteration of this one for a year in the rainforest, over 200 times last year, over 250 times. And fine, had absolutely no problem at all. That's why I bought this one, and that's why I also bought the Ultra Rush, which I'll review in a different video. So looking at this one, we can look at the outside. It's small. It's smaller than the Ultra Rush by far. So it's small, it's compact, it's lightweight. It's 185 grams total, which makes it really light, even with the battery total, 185 grams. So it's great for ultra runners, and it's really great for so many things. There's little that you can't use this for. What couldn't you use it for? It wouldn't be ideal for caving, because the light is flickering all the time on the reactive. It's not a wide enough beam that's just a nice quality the whole way across. This has the center dot, which I think is not so great for caving. The beam quality and the shape of this in general, say at a meter like this, would spread out almost a foot. So it's really quite tight. For caving, you wouldn't want to use it, I don't think. For ultra running, it's perfect. For running at night on the trails or streets, it's perfect. For bicycling, it's great. For skiing, it would be good. For literally anything else I could think of, camping, hiking, kayaking, I can't think of anything it really wouldn't be good for except maybe caving. So the water resistance on this is IPX4, which means good in a hard rain, a splashing water for 10 minutes. Really that's too conservative, because I've used my old one for hours in the rain, an hour at a time in very heavy rain, and never had a problem, never had it flicker. It's quite well sealed. And the new one, so I'm talking about the old one, right? Because I used it for a year. The new one is even better sealed. There's better rubber around the USB connector. when I popped off this battery compartment to check in here, there's 2 levels of rubber that seal the battery compartment now, so it's super sealed. And I think it's going to be really quite fine in the heavy rain of the rainforest here in Thailand. Can you drop this in the water and pull it back out, and will it work? I think so. I think for sure. I'm not going to test it like that because I don't have $180 to blow, but you know, I think you probably wouldn't even have to think about it. If you drop it in a stream, you drop it in a puddle, I think there's going to be no problem. Pull it out, it'll be fine. If not, shut it off right away. Shake it as much as you can, you know, like this, to get the water out, and then sit it in front of a fan, put it in the freezer, something like that, to dry it out, get all the water out. So for lighting modes, you have 2 different modes on the unit. The first one is, we'll say, standard or manual. So you have low and high. The high beam, the high beam will give you 530 lumens for 90 minutes, which is reasonable, right? I can definitely use that for looking for snakes, but I usually go longer than 90 minutes. There is another mode called Reactive Lighting Technology, and what it is, it uses the sensor to save batteries. It will adjust the beam strength depending what you're doing. If you're looking down, the light from the ground will be reflecting back into here, and it will cut the beam strength down. Or if you're looking at a book, I don't have a book, but if you're looking at a book like this, it's on your head, that's really close, right? It will cut this beam down to like 4 to 7 lumens. I mean, super light. Super dim, and so you can read your book fine. You won't be like blasted out with light, right? You only get, I'm not sure if I said it or not, but you only get 750 lumens if you're in reactive lighting technology mode and you're looking far away. It will brighten up the whole area like a football field. It can light up. It's really quite amazing. But you only get 750 lumens for brief bursts like that. You'll never get it as you're pointing at the ground or something close to you, like looking in a tree when I'm looking for snakes in trees. And I wish I could have like a real bright, like, can't get it. The brightest it'll go is 530 lumens in manual mode. So the battery rating is, it's an 18650 battery. It has 2600 milliamps. It is proprietary. You can't just put another battery in here because PETZL, like Apple, turn their stuff into proprietary. They wrap the battery in a blue plastic and they put a chip on there. You can't possibly just replace it with another battery like you can with a lot of headlamps. That sucks because these batteries are super expensive. You know how much this is? You can't buy just the blue battery and replace it. You have to buy the whole piece. So the whole thing is $70 US, which if you're money conscious, you could buy a whole headlamp for $70. And actually you could buy a pretty good headlamp for $70. If you go over and look at the Fenix HL60R, which I also reviewed in on another page. Fenix I don't like as much as PETZL. But if you can get a whole headlamp for $70 versus just the battery, and you don't absolutely need this one, you might as well just go with that, right? So the tilt range of this light, 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks, and it looks like it's pointing down maybe a 75-degree angle from straight. That's pretty good. It's about average. Everybody has about the same thing. The recharge time on the battery is 6 hours, which is, to me, it's kind of long, too long really. The Ultra Rush has a recharge time of like 3.5 hours, which is really sweet. So one of the cool features is that this new light has the Bluetooth technology. So you're wondering what could it possibly be for? You can hook up your iPhone or Android phone with an application called My PETZL Light. And it connects to your headlamp, and you can set up personal lighting profiles. So you can have up to 6 different profiles that you customize in the app that will tell this what to do, and you find them when you're out in the field later. I mean, you could do it in the field if you want, but you can then select them with this regular selector here. There's just a certain way to get to them, and then you can scroll through 1 to 6 your profiles. So it's really quite cool. It extends the capability of this, the functionality, you know, from 4 different modes, 4 different levels to 10. So it's really quite cool like that. So far, I've used it twice and it's worked both times well. And I think it's real solid. I think the application's nice. It's beautiful to look at. They really did it well. And it's nothing as buggy as the previous iteration of this was the Now 2 575 lumens, where you could connect to your computer. I never got it to work. It was a nightmare. It was a disaster. But this one works well with the new app and really extends the functionality of it. So one thing to note, previous version of this headlamp, I'm calling it the Now 2, but also the Now 1, had a functionality, had an option where you can take out this blue battery and then insert 2 AA batteries instead, just for emergency use. What I found out, and I thought that this one had it, what I found out is it does not have it. So you cannot insert 2 AAA batteries. I'm gonna have to change my page that I wrote on this, because I thought for sure they would keep that, but they got rid of it for whatever reason. Maybe because the flashing red light here took up some space or something. So that's it. That's a video review of this. It was really just an overview. The page where I reviewed the headlamp, the Now Plus, is really quite comprehensive. Please take a look at it. I hope this helped you decide whether or not this light is right for you. It's certainly right for me. I've been so happy with the previous one, and this one's going to make me even more happy because it's brighter and lasts a little bit longer. So take a look at it and see, you know, whether maybe you come around and start to believe that $185 for a light is not all that unreasonable. I did whenever I looked at the alternatives, you know, and I tend to buy quality over anything, you know. So if I find something that's going to last for years, I'll buy that instead, because I really love to have something I can rely on. You may find it's worth $185 for you. You may find it's not even close. So let me know in the comments if you would. And also, hope this helps you decide what to buy. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you would, and check out some of the other videos. All right, cheers.